Fresh Powders Big Blue Spaceship, Chapter 6, Captain's Coming. After the Clanger rescue, the crew heads straight to the medical bay to drop off Twilight and Pegasus for healing. At the same time, Lefty and Blooper are dismissed, having finished recovering. Lefty is more or less fine. Unfortunately, Blooper's voice box was damaged beyond repair, rendering him mute. The captains swear vengeance against the Reapers for this. The crew returns to the cockpit to prepare to rescue Nerflamingo. Just before they set off, the crew watches a giant yellow circus tent drifts past them outside the ship. The tent is piloted by a creepy clown. Malcolm watches as the tent drifts away. He notes the space clown, flying a circus tent, heading towards Earth for some reason. The captains shrug it off, saying they'll deal with it later. The ship speeds off to the Shank. On the way, the crew thinks carefully about their plan. Greysile decides to pretend to visit Polt while he is locked up. Soon, she arrives at the Shank in her own ship, in order to not draw any suspicions. Tara approaches the Shank wearing a strange necklace with an orange jewel pendant on it. Being a cop herself, she is allowed into the Shank to visit her fellow crewmate. She is led around the prison by two guards, known as Limo Sapiens. These beings are composed entirely out of colored slime, with a strange metallic disc flying above their heads. The Shank is full of dangerous criminals, locked away inside large cells behind steel doors. At one point, she passes Flats in his new cell. She chuckles at this as she walks away. Soon, she is led to Polt's cell, where he is sealed behind two doors in a padded room. She is sealed in with him in order to keep him inside. When Tara sees the state of her flamingo crewmate, she is heartbroken. He is locked in a straitjacket against the wall with a strong muzzle around his beak. She carefully takes off the muzzle and tries to get him to talk. Polt doesn't respond, but when Tara mentions getting the crew back together, Polt looks at her in the eyes and speaks weakly. He rambles about how he belongs in a cage and that he's never done anything good in his life. Tara reassures him that he's been brainwashed by the guards and that even though he's done bad things before, it was for the greater good. Tara then reveals that she snuck Malcolm, S, and Squidward into the prison. S appears from the necklace and tries to comfort Polt. Even though Polt is happy to see his captain, he breaks down in tears and tells them to leave. Otherwise they will end up in the prison like him. Tara simply nods towards Squidward as she and the rest leave. Squidward remains in the cell just as Tara opens the doors. Squidward glares at Polt. Polt insults Squidward, causing Squidward to literally kick Polt out of the cell, banging his head on the outside wall. Polt regains his memory and mindset from this and embraces Tara. S reveals that Malcolm performed a slight time-slowing spell on the guards, which will soon wear off. The group run to find Polt's minigun and clothes before the spell wears off. They eventually find a storage vault just as the spell begins to wear off. Tara and Polt lead the way, opening fire on the near-indestructible slime guards. The gunfire is seen on security cameras, which Tara shoots out with her guns. They target the device floating above each slime guard's head, which allows these guards to retain their forms in different gravitational fields. Once hit, each guard falls to the ground in a puddle. Soon the group runs outside to Tara's ship. Polt holds off the guards with his newly acquired minigun, while Tara starts up the ship. Polt mocks the guards before spreading his wings and flying onto Tara's ship to make their escape. Nerflamingo is reunited with the rest of the crew on the Populous Preserver. He sits in the cockpit and begins to repair his prosthetic leg. The group watch as a news report about Polt's escape and how the Star Center on a gray thin line again. The crew laugh it off and begin making plans to find their final crewmate, Tara's old girlfriend, Battalion. Spanner messages the captains from the cockpit, stating that he has fixed their hyperdrive and that they can now hyperjump through space again without any more worries of crashing. To be continued.